Almost everyone in the UK either holds premium bonds or has a relative who tucks some away for them. They feel entirely safe, but for many savers today, that comfort is quietly draining their wealth. Backed directly by HM Treasury since the 1950s, these bonds built generations of absolute public trust. People know the brand, so they skip the math. Right now, ns&i advertises a prize fund rate hovering around 4%. In a market where central bank rates are shifting, a 4% tax-free return from the government looks highly competitive. But that advertised rate is a mathematical mirage. It represents a theoretical average that the vast majority of bondholders will never see in their own accounts. Relying on the nostalgia of the Crown logo instead of running the actual numbers leads to a compounding hidden loss of real cash over time. This equation breaks down how ns&i arrives at that headline number. They simply take the total monthly prize pot and divide it by the total value of all bonds held. This gives us a mean average of 4%. The problem with a mean average is that it gets pulled aggressively upward by extreme outliers. Every month, a tiny fraction of holders win life-changing £1 million jackpots, which heavily skews the math for everyone else. To understand what you will likely earn, we have to look at the median saver, the person right in the middle of the pack. For them, a realistic return is much lower, typically sitting between 2 and 3%. The smaller the holding, the worse the odds. If you hold under £5,000 in bonds, you will frequently experience consecutive months where you win absolutely nothing. Even if you max out your holding at £50,000, your yearly returns are going to be highly unpredictable. One year, you might pull in £2,500. The next, you might only see half of that. Treating a statistical average as a reliable yield is a severe miscalculation. If you need a predictable income stream, premium bonds cannot provide it. Premium bonds have no platform fees and no exit penalties. The true cost of holding them doesn't appear on your statement. It hides in the interest you gave up by not putting that cash somewhere else. Looking at this split-screen graph, we can map exactly what that opportunity cost looks like. If you park £20,000 in bonds and hit a 6-month dry spell, the bottom line stays completely flat. In a top easy access account paying 4.2%, that same money would have reliably generated over £400 in the exact same time frame. Now add inflation to the chart. If the cost of living rises by 2.5%, but your bonds only yield a realistic 2% in prizes, your money is steadily losing its purchasing power. The Treasury's capital guarantee protects the nominal number on your screen. You will never lose the pounds you put in. But behind the scenes, the actual value of those pounds slowly burns away. Leaving cash sitting in an underperforming account because you haven't decided what to do with it is an active financial penalty. Lazy money is incredibly expensive. The strongest argument for premium bonds is that all prizes are completely tax-free. Standard savings accounts are taxable, which makes the bond seem like the obvious winner. But the math tells a different story. The UK offers a personal savings allowance, or PSA. If you are a basic rate taxpayer, your first £1,000 of savings interest every year is entirely sheltered from tax. This ledger compares our two options for a saver with £25,000. On the left, premium bonds at a realistic median return generate about £875. On the right, splitting that cash between an ISA and an easy access account fully utilizes the PSA, yielding £1,010, all completely tax-free. For higher rate taxpayers, the math gets tighter because their personal savings allowance drops down to just £500. If a higher rate taxpayer holds the maximum £50,000, the heavy taxation on a standard account makes the race much closer. But even then, premium bonds only beat a cash ISA if the saver defies the odds and consistently outperforms the median probability. The heavily promoted tax-free status of premium bonds is completely redundant if utilizing standard tax-efficient wrappers still puts more actual cash in your pocket at the end of the year. To optimize your cash in 2026, there is a clear order of priority. Your first move should always be filling your £20,000 cash ISA allowance, securing a guaranteed, tax-free return. Next, put any remaining capital into a top-tier easy access account, maximizing the free limits of your personal savings allowance. Premium bonds belong at the bottom of the list. They should be a small, discretionary allocation, or a final ultra-safe parking spot backed by HM Treasury for high net worth individuals who have already exhausted every other tax-free option. Protecting your wealth means checking the assumptions behind the financial products you use. Calculate